Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of the Jack the Lad podcast. On today's episode we've got on Killian Prunier.
Hello everybody.
Yeah, jump in, let's go.
Hello, I'm Killian Prunier, as you said, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm a sidecar cross, and I'm the driver for Sidecar Team Prunier since 8 years now, with my brother as a passenger. And of course, thank you, Jack, for the invitation. It's a great opportunity for me and for the sport to be able to speak here with you about it.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. As I said, before we got the count, before we recorded, I couldn't do this without people like yourself. So thank you very much for coming on and taking the time to talk to me. And this is something that I find very interesting as a sport, and I don't think many people know about it. So how did you first get into it, I suppose?
It comes from my father. He drove a sidecar since during 20 years until 2007. Yes, he stopped in 2007, and when he stopped, it was myself. I decided to ride motorcycle only, and I rode during 7 years, and I had a lot of injuries, everywhere on my body. I was always broken, and in my mind, I had always the sidecar cross was always there. And one day I decided to try with my brother, and it was a great feeling, and I loved it. So we decided to train harder and to see what this sport could bring us.
So when you first start with the sidecar, obviously, how does the passenger sort of know what to do?
It's a little bit natural, I could say. In the right corner, he has to go on the right side of the sidecar, on the outside, and in the left corner, he has to go on the left. He makes the balance of the sidecar to say this is his job. In the jumps, he just has to give the correct balance too. And in the corner, if he doesn't go on the outside of the sidecar, we had the accident. We go directly upside down. He's really maybe the most important part of the sidecar.
Yeah, 100%. Because when I was watching it, the Instagram video that I came across of yours is obviously the 360 camera where it's got it on the pair of you, and he, as you said before, like they're referred to as monkeys. Like that's exactly what he looked like. He was just, he's all over the place manoeuvring. What sort of a? Oh no, what's gone on?
Yes, I'm here.
1 minute, my camera's just turned off.
Oh shit!
1 minute. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? Right, going to have to transfer to this one. Right. Yeah, we'll just keep going, I suppose. It's just part and parcel of
no problem.
The issues with podcasting. So, yeah, I've just moved on to my webcam now. So, yeah, that's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, so, like, how quickly can someone train for that side of it, and how, because I feel like both of you are in, really good shape, like your gym workouts, your routines, all that sort of stuff. That's the sort of stuff that I wanted to sort of get into.
Yeah, we have a lot of gym routine, especially in those moments in the winter training where we have no races. This is the moment we train the most hard. We make 3 gym for weeks, And the weekend, if we don't go training on the sidecar, we make a lot of bicycle. So this is very special, like technique. The driver, it's always look like motorcycle, ATVs a little bit, but passenger is so special. It doesn't look like any other sport in the world. So it's very hard to find the right exercise to do out of the sidecar at the gym to repeat the same movement as the passenger. It's very special, really.
So what does a sort of a normal day look like for Killian?
Actually, we are not professionals, so we need to work. So in the winter training, we go to work and on the day normally as 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. In the evening, first we do the mechanic on the sidecar, all the stuff if something is broken, etc. And after we have at least 1.5 hours of sport of gym at home. We made a special room for it, so it's easier for us to train at home than going on the sports shop.
Yeah, to a gym.
Yeah, to a gym, of course.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Like I said before, like your English is better than my French, so I'm glad we're doing it in English, not French. So on your Instagram, obviously it says that you're the Champion de France 2022.
Yeah.
So where was that held, and what was that like? What was the week running up to it? How were you feeling? Were you confident? Did you think you'd win it?
We thought we could win it this year because there was not so much stranger teams for this championship, and we knew that we were the fastest French team. But everything can happen in the championship. We had 12 races, three hit for races, so it makes a lot of time on the sidecar, and anything can happen. It's not like a motorcycle who come from a factory and all is perfect on a motorcycle. This is more handmade on the sidecar, so it's anything can happen, and we can have injuries, we can have mechanical problems. So we were not sure until the last moment. And winning the French championship means a lot for us. Our father rode for 20 years in the French championship. We have a lot of friends who help us in this sport, who rode in the championship. So it means a lot. It's a big improvement for us. And we have a lot of goals for the future years.
You've just touched on it there when you were talking about injuries and stuff like that. How sort of often and what sort of injuries do you get from this?
I don't know in English all the name of the body, but in solo motorcycle, I broke my how do you name this?
Jaw. Your jaw.
What?
Your jaw.
Yeah, my jaw. Yeah, was broken. My legs twice in motorcycle. My wrist 3 times this wrist, 2 times the other. I got my finger cut a little bit. A piece of my finger was cut. It's very dangerous sport. We know it, but we love it so much that we cannot stop.
What sort of injuries does the passenger get?
My passenger was so much luckier. He didn't have anything since the beginning. He didn't have anything.
He's not had one injury.
If I don't. Oh yeah, he had one injury last year. During a training, he had a bad movement, and he had a very bad sensation on his foot. But it was in the full season. We had to train a lot. We had the races coming, so we kept riding. And 2 weeks later, he just wanted to check at the hospital if all was clear, because we were still riding. And at the hospital, the doctor said that the the foot was broken, but it was almost finished. He was surprised, but
so he broke his
didn't
foot.
have so much pain. Yeah,
so
yeah.
he broke
his foot, and he was still riding.
He was still riding, and it was recovering when he actually got the X-ray.
Yeah. Yes.
Crikey!
It was amazing.
Yeah, that is something else. Also, as well, you touched on it that the sidecar is handmade and obviously put to it.
Yeah, it's handmade. We can say it's made from my sidecar. It's made from a 10-time world champion driver, Daniel Willemsen. His brand is WSP. Willemsen sidecar product. He's a Netherlands guy, and he makes great sidecar. He produced something around 40, 50 sidecar for a year, but all is made by hand, weld on with hand, and it's not like a motorcycle where you can go on the shop, you take the new KTM or the new Yamaha, you go out from the shop, you put gas on, and you can start. On sidecar, you have to command the frame. You have to say that in this frame, I want this engine with this suspension and with this plastics and these stickers. All is very artisanal. I don't know if it's the word, but you can take a KTM engine or a Yamaha engine, or for my part, a Zabel engine. All is very free in sidecar.
So it's all customizable.
Yeah, very customizable. Yes.
Yeah. So when you say obviously when it's built, does that guy build everyone's car throughout, or is there?
Well, we can, but we prefer that our maker Daniel Willemsen builds all the sidecar. We say we want the new frame with Zabel engine, Rager suspension, and with this kind of stickers. He builds himself, and he tells us end of the month you can come in Netherlands, you take the sidecar, and it's okay. We prefer like this. He's more professional. He knows a lot more his sidecar, so it's a little bit better for us.
And I'm assuming there's parameters and whatnot for the sidecar, like there's sizing and all the rest of it for it that you've got to stick to.
What? I didn't understand. Sorry.
So when they're building the sidecars,
yeah.
Is there specific dimensions that they have to stick to, like the length, the width, the height of it, the material that's used?
I think there is a regulation about the size, but about the weight, no regulation for now. The goal is always to have the less weight possible. But we have regulation for the engine. We have the two type of engine, 2-stroke and 4-strokes. We use 2 strokes, and we are limited to 750 cc. And in 4-stroke, they are limited to 1,000 cc. But no one uses 1,000 4-stroke.
Ah, right. Why is that?
Because in 4-stroke, they use the motorcycle engine for the base. They use 500 cc KTM use Werner as a base, and they tune it around 600 500. No, what do I say? 650 or 700 cc max, because the engine are very light, very stiff, and it's the most you go, the bigger you go, the how can say the fragile,
heavier.
Fragile. It's more brittle. The bigger you go, the brittle it is.
Okay, yeah. Because of the tension, there's more stress on the engine.
Exactly, and it's on the 4-stroke, when you have a problem, it's always more expensive than a 2-stroke.
Okay, so we touched on it a little bit, but then we sort of got sidetracked with the 2022 Champion de France.
Yeah.
How did your week leading up to that go? Like, so you're a week out from race day. What was there? You know, did you have your training regime in place? Is it just a normal working week and you've got to fit that in? Do you take a week off work? How did it all, you know, how were them days up until that race? Or
after the last race?
Up to the race. So is it, so, okay, in fact, so is it like to be Champion de France, is that raced over a season and then you accumulate points like in Formula One?
Yes, this is exactly the same thing. Not the exact same point, but it worked the same way. Yes.
So how does that point system work then? How do you get points? What points?
The first we have three races in a day. Race 1, 2, 3. For each race, the top to the 21st rider will have points. The first one, it's 25, 22, 20, 18, 16, 15, 14, until the 20. And if we win the 3 races on the day, we earn 75 points. And by this way, we were champion at the 10th race, 2 races before the end. So for the 2 last rounds, it was good to breathe a lot because we knew we were already a French champion.
Nice. So what was it like when you're on race 10? You know that obviously at the start line of that race, if we win this, we're French champions. What's going through your mind?
In the mind for everybody, we wanted to take the race as the same way as all the other, because we don't want to be not concentrated or something like that. But we didn't want to take any risk. In our mind, it was okay. We try to start first. We push as hard as possible, but no risk at all. The main goal is to finish all the race, and it should be enough to be French champion, and it was.
Yeah. What has changed for you? Obviously, since being crowned French champions, is there sponsorships involved with this at all, or?
Yes, a little bit sponsorship. Yeah, a lot of sponsors, especially in this moment when time are a little bit harder with money. Sponsors want to be seen, so this is why we made a lot of videos on media. But when we come to have sponsorship and we say, okay, now we are French champion, we are the youngest team of the championship and we are French champion, the sponsor like this kind of thing, and this has helped us a lot.
Yeah. What would you say to someone that's looking to get into sidecar or any sort of obscure sport?
Let's try. If you want to succeed in this sport, you have to work a lot. We worked a lot to get into it, but everything is possible. We didn't think it was possible for us to be champion as young as we were, but finally the work paid and everything is possible.
How was it for your dad?
From my dad, I was he was proud. He was really proud for my dad and my mother, because when my dad rode, my mother was with him already, and they are very stressful on the side of the track, but at the end they are very proud and very happy for us and for them, because when me and my brother, we are French champion, but we are all a team. We are French champion with all our team.
Yeah. What's it like for your mum? Obviously, watching her boys zip around on that.
She was crying. Of course, she was crying. She was proud. She made a lot of sacrifice. We have no holidays. All and in the past years, it was even more sacrifice because it cost a lot of money. So she made a lot of sacrifice, and today she is proud of us, and we cannot thank her enough for all she did.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's I think parents do play a massive role with anything, I suppose, and it is. People say about obviously push your parents and all the rest of it, but your parents have got to take an interest in what you do, otherwise they're less inclined to take you there, and all the rest of it, and especially when you're a kid. For me, it was always football, but for me, I can't get to football games unless my old man takes me. Do you know what I mean? So it's there's a lot of thanks and all that for all the parents that do this sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and without them, we wouldn't have world champions. We wouldn't be able, we wouldn't have the sports that we have. So what do you want to expand on and tell people and let people know about Sidecar Cross?
Oh, actually, I don't know. I was not ready for this kind of question. Sidecar like this, there is something a little bit funny about sidecar. I don't think if it's funny, but it's a little bit strange when you start riding sidecar. When the most important thing when you ride the first time is the sidecar in the straight line. The sidecar never goes straight. If you look closely to a sidecar in the paddock, you can see that the passenger wheel, the sidecar wheel, is always a little bit open to turn more easy in the right turn. So in the straight line, the sidecar always goes to the right. So if you look closely to a driver, we are always turning to the left. It's a little fact that we are always turning to the left, and it's when the race is very long. At the end, it's very, very hard to keep the handlebar like this for a full race. It's just a little fact. I don't know.
Yeah. So have you found with that then that your training, you've had to be more right side dominant to be able to push that handlebar out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But some tracks are better than the other for this kind of problem because especially in sand track, we have a lot of roads because it's very smooth and it makes a lot of roads. In this situation, the sidecars always go straight because we are in the ruts like a train and it doesn't move.
Yeah, good. If you weren't doing sidecar, what would you be doing?
What? Sorry, I had a cut.
If you weren't doing sidecar, was there anything else that you were doing at the time, that sort of, hobbies that fell off because of this and that took over? Because you took this up. Well, I don't know. Have you took this up late or not?
For real, I didn't do anything else, anything other than motocross or sidecar. If I had to do something else, for real, I don't know. I never thought about something else than motocross or sidecar.
Do you ever think like how like that you're doing something that you love when there's so many people in the world that are just sort of stuck in a job that they don't want to do and they've got no outlet?
Yes.
I think that's where I think that's where a lot of the problems come from with people. There's a lot of stuff on social media where people are shouting at each other and they're wound up about the smallest of things. And you seem to find when I'm watching it, I just think they can't have much going on in their life if they're able to moan about the most minute of things, because like I'm too busy to worry about what anyone else is doing.
It takes a lot of time, so we are very concentrated on this sport, and we have a lot of some kind of responsibilities because a lot of people believe in us. they give us money from sponsorship. They gave us money to succeed in this sport. So we are very, very, very focused since many years, and this is why we succeed at this point. This is maybe because we are French champion, and that we progress a lot because we are very involved in this sport. Yeah.
What's the travel like? Do you travel about much?
Yeah, a lot. For me, it's a lot, I think. We call World Championship. It's called World Championship, but most of the races are in Europe. All the races are in Europe. For example, the new calendar for 2023 season was just released, and we have 14 races. We will go from France to Estonia. We have a race in Northern Ireland, in UK. We go to Germany, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, and Portugal. We will travel a lot, and I think it's we have not calculated yet, but I think it's around 25 or 30 kilometers, 30,000 kilometers for the year.
Bloody hell. So is this your first year of doing in the World Championship because you're the French champion? So is this your first? 1 minute. Is this your first year of being in the World Championships because you won the French, or are you always in?
2023 will be our first full year in the World Championship. This year, 2022, we competed we participated in only 5 races because of the time and money. We had a big races and very good result on some races, especially in Czech Republic. We were the first race. We were fourth. We were the first, amazed by this result. First of the first result and 9 of the second. For their result of fourth. For us, it was only our second race in World Championship, and to be the fourth of the day was just amazing. Everybody was amazed too by our performance, and it was a magical day. But next year the priority will be the World Championship, and we need to fight with the big teams.
Yeah, I was just going to say that against sort of like who are the dominant team in the World Championships?
Dominant team is a Netherlands team. The driver is from Netherlands, and the passenger is from Czech Republic. His name Etienne Bax for the driver, and the passenger is Andrzej Starmak. They are 4-time, I guess now. They are 4-time world champion, and they are like an example for this sport. They are very professional. They have the big, beautiful turquoise race clean. The tent is always perfect, like in World Championship. In motocross, it's so beautiful to see, and we can only dream about it.
So you've said there that you're obviously dreaming of that. Is that a realistic expectation that you will be crowned world champion?
Yeah, of course. I want to race better this. We work for this, and we are very, very young for this sport, really. In the World Championship, we are not the youngest, but we are the second youngest team. And I think, yes, it's possible. We have a great, we know that actually we have a great level, and we know too that there is still a lot to improve, and we know what to improve. So the improvement is huge, and we are very confident for the future.
When you're traveling, obviously country to country, I know you said you only done the 5 races previously. Is the ground always the same? Is it always like a mud track, or is there gravel, or can it be a range of all of it?
It can be very different from a track to another. Especially in the country like Belgium, Netherlands, it's always very, very sandy. This is the worst thing for us, actually. and this is why we train a lot this winter in these conditions, because we need to progress a lot. But in France, in UK, and all the east side of the Europe, all the tracks are really hard pack, and this is our kind of condition where we are the best. But yes, we can have rain, so the track can be very muddy. So this is another reason why we train a lot in the year. We have to find all the conditions in the training to be the best the day of race.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any time where it's been called off, like the race has been cancelled due to weather, or do you race in absolutely anything?
Yeah, sometimes it can happen. Yeah, when there is too much rain, the chef prefer to stop the race. It's too dangerous, or if we cannot complete a full lap, sometimes it happens where we stop the race. But it's easier to stop in French Championship than in World Championship, because a lot of teams come from very long, very far away, and there's a lot of public. So in World Championship, they prefer to race. So sometimes it's very hard when you have something like 20 centimeters of mud and the sidecar is 2 times the weight. So sometimes it's very difficult.
Yeah, well, obviously getting up into the higher ranks and stuff like that, and on the world stage, I can imagine in every aspect it's harder, especially with the thing. How was your sort of what was I going to say? Like your diet. Do you eat your diet? What you eat? Like, do you eat?
Yeah.
Like good food, or do you sort of train in you can eat whatever you like?
About the diet, I want to say that it's maybe the last thing that we can have pleasure. We can have pleasure with the food. We don't go out. We don't make party. We make a lot of sports, so we try to eat correctly. But sometimes, McDonald's, Burger King, or pizza, we can't refuse it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm with you there.
And we are very light, so we need to take a lot of weight.
Indeed, yeah. That's the reason I asked. Obviously, there's to look at you. There's not much on you, so I just wondered whether that was down to a sort of a strict diet and a heavy workout routine, or whether that was just sort of a you're naturally built like that. And
naturally, we are very thin. My brother too, but there is only muscle, nothing else.
Yeah, no, that's right. Have you got any final thoughts for everybody listening?
Actually, like this, not really. I'm a little bit speechless like this. No.
Usually at this point, the guest would say, something along the lines of what how they've achieved what they've achieved, and sort of an inspiration to sort of the younger generation that's listening to this.
From my part?
From you, yeah. So, if they want to get into sidecar cross, everyone's welcome in, and all the rest of it.
Of course, everybody is welcome. Actually, in our day in France, so we are feeling a little bit of bad moment for sidecars. There are less and less people riding, because it's kind of old sport. We can see like old people riding sidecar cross, so some of them are now stopping, which is normal. But we are looking for young teams to come and ride sidecar. It's not impossible. We are proving that it's possible. Young teams can easily ride a sidecar, and you will see that there is so great feelings on the bike. It's amazing. So you don't have to hesitate, and you should try. You should try to drive it and participate to the races.
Yeah, definitely. What's your Instagram tag so people can find you?
Yeah, on Killian _Prunier, and or on the account of my brother, it's the same, Evan_Prunier, and you will find content on the sidecar. And especially this winter, we want to push a lot harder on the social network.
Brilliant. Well, thank you
very
much.
Also on Facebook, we have a Facebook account, Sidecar Team Prunier, and the same name on YouTube. We vlog every race, and this is the new thing of this season, 2022. We filmed all the races, and people love this, and we were very surprised to see all the community and all the views for each video. It was amazing, very surprising for this part.
Yeah, no, they were brilliant. Like I said, obviously I came across the 360 camera, and I flicked through a lot of them. Yeah, and there's a lot of likes on there and a lot of love.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast today, Killian. It's been an absolute pleasure. An absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. The same.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Head on over to Killian_Prunier on Instagram. Follow him on there, and we shall see you all again soon.
Yeah. See you.
See you later.